Yes. Welcome to the next session, next class. Yesterday we were listening Mara's stories. Although they were bizarre, which are not possible to believe, but it was interesting. It was interesting to listen the stories. When the author Tejasvi continued the conversation with Mara, he told a story that a wild buck, it took birth from the meat piece and ran away because of the very special leaf wrapped around it. Can it be believed? No. Cloning is a method by which a life can be produced by a single cell, but it takes so many years or months. But here, just within few hours, yes, just by wrapping with the leaf, this half meat of this wild buck took the original form. When his wife, Mara's wife, opened the packet of meat, surprise to surprise, there is a live wild buck, but it saw Mara was also there. When it saw, it jumped up and ran out of his house. When Mara was trying to catch, Mara told this, when he told that he tried to catch it, but he couldn't. So, to identify the leaf, his wife ignorantly took the leaves and threw them into the fire. So he couldn't identify the leaf also. When I heard this story, I means Tejasvi, Purnachandra Tejasvi. I heard the story. I was speechless and I did not ask Mara any elaboration or explanation because this was the height of his inventive genius. So he was excellent in weaving stories. This is the extreme height of his inventive genius. It is no wonder that the white man of Hulihindilu was prepared to give away his entire estate in exchange of these wonder plants. Now, it had been a long time since I sold that estate and Mara is also dead and gone. Mara is no more now. He is also dead and gone. I sold the estate and forgot about this medicinal creeper also. It's difficult to dismiss all of Mara's stories as buncombe. Buncombe means nonsense. We can't dismiss all these stories as buncombe. Some little detail remains to bother our conscience. Conscience means inner thinking. What do you say? Antaratma. It will be making us to search or to find out the truth behind these stories. Maybe something right in the stories is a question which our conscience asks with us. The total disinterest that Mara showed in trying to argue with us or convince us, for that matter, to lie or tell the truth continues to bother us. Anyway, Mara told the story, but he did not try to convince any of the listener. He just told it. And he didn't argue also. He told the story, that's it. Whether you believe or not, he never bothered. So this disinterest that Mara showed in trying to argue with us or convince us, for that matter, to lie or to tell the truth continues to bother us. Why did he do so? That tries to bother us. After a long time, Mara's medicinal creeper was back in the news. So I forgot about the medicinal creeper. Mara has also gone. I sold the estate. Not I, Tejasvi sold the estate. And the medicinal creeper's knowledge, whatever I collected, was just in my heart. This time I saw Appanna tying it to a nearby tree. After a few years, when I was going to the forest, I saw Appanna tying the same tree into into a tree. Same vein. I asked him whether he knew its uses, because Mara told that it was cursed by a sage. If you won't tie it to a nearby tree, it will escape. It is a thief. Something all he told. But he don't know what is the use of it. He told that each and every part of the plant is medicinal. Here, when I saw Appanna tying this creeper into a nearby tree, I asked him whether he knows the use. He did not know. I believe if you squeeze the juice of these leaves, milk becomes hard, he said. One of the property which Mara didn't tell was known to Appanna. He told that if you squeeze this juice of these leaves, it makes the milk hard. That means it converts the milk into hard. Maybe it's sour to taste. I thought that probably the leaf must be sour. When you squeeze something sour into the milk, maybe lemon. If you squeeze lemon into the milk turns into curd. Probably this Appanna don't know how to tell it. Instead of telling that it converts into curd, he might have been told that milk hardens. It spoils and curdles. I thought this was being mistaken for hardening of milk. I asked Appanna, have you seen it happen? Appanna told, probably, I believe. That means he was not sure. He was not sure that the juice of that plant converts the milk into curd. But he told that he believed. Somebody might have been told with him. Believe that the squeeze of this juice makes the milk hard. So probably it might have been so citrus nature. When you squeeze something sour into milk, it spoils the milk and curdles. I thought this was being mistaken for hardening of milk. I asked Appanna, have you seen it happen? That is what people say. I don't know. I didn't practice it. I didn't try it. That's what people say about this plant. Where can I find milk for all such experiments? He replied. If he get milk to some extent, he can give that for his children, his family members. To experiment, he can't use the milk. He can't waste so much money because he is a poor worker. That's what people say. Where can I find milk for all such experiments? He replied. Is there any basis for stories that are spread about these plants or herbs? I wondered whether I should squeeze the leaves into milk and see what happens. So many stories are there around this creeper. Mara told that it's cursed by a sage. Appanna says that it changes milk into curd. So is there any proof? So I thought of trying this. I wondered whether I should squeeze the leaves into milk and see what happens. Instead of criticizing others for not knowing, I thought it would be better to check it out on my own. Instead of asking Mara or Appanna or such people whether they have tried this, it's better to try by ourselves, I thought, because he can afford it. Mara, Appanna, Sanna, they can't. That's why. I plucked some leaves. Pluck means took it off. Some leaves from the creeper and took them to my friend Chandru, who was a plant pathologist. Pathologist means the one who experiments about the particular thing. Pathology is the testing method. In pathology laboratory, we give for blood test, urine test and all. Got it? Yes. A plant pathologist, Chandru. I plucked some leaves from the creeper and took them to my friend Chandru, who was a plant pathologist. Who was Chandru? Chandru was Tejasvi's friend. A plant pathologist should be the answer. So, better to underline the sentence, which is important. I told him what I had heard about this plant. Aparna told that this plant has the nature of changing milk into curd. Shall we try? He asked. The other scientist friends laughed at us. So we decided to conduct the experiment and brought a liter of milk. 1 liter of milk we brought because we can afford it. Instead of asking with Mara, Sanna, Appanna, Bhaira like people, it's better to practice ourselves, better to try ourselves, I thought. And with consulting my friend Chandru, a plant pathologist, we both decided to conduct the experiment and brought 1 liter of milk. Other scientist friends, they laughed at us. They said what we were wasting a liter of good milk, listening to all kind of cock and bull stories. So this is mere waste. It's impossible for a plant juice to convert milk into curds. It's a mere waste of your time, money, and 1 liter of milk also, they told. Once we had decided to play the fools, we couldn't care less about others laughing us. Play the fools means stupid way. Maybe stupid way. We have decided to do the experiment. Why to care about others? Like they laugh at us. But we might have the satisfaction that we proved that it's right or wrong. Right? Yes. So we put the milk and leaves into a mixture and switched it on. After they were thoroughly mixed, we poured it into a vessel and watched for some time to see whether it would become curdled or remain as it was. Instead of taking the juice of the leaves, we put some leaves and some milk into the mixer and grind it well. And poured it into a vessel. After some time, when we peeped into it, it remained as it was. It would become curdled or remain. Nothing happened for a couple of minutes. Just as decided that we had indeed wasted a liter of milk. So just as I decided that, one that is conjunction, another that the work whatever we did, that we had indeed wasted a liter of milk. I touched it again. It had become firm and rubbery. When we inverted the vessel, the whole thing fell out like a molded cast. So whatever Appanna told was right. It not only curdled, it hardened. When they inverted the vessel, the whole of the mixture of these leaves and leeks what they grind in a mixer, and the milk, it fell out like a molded cast. So these ground leaves, they leave their juice into the milk. So naturally, it had to solidify as Appanna told. That's what happened. So then the creeper had some qualities. Now it was our turn to wonder. But the problem was that despite all of this, we did not know which disease or diseases it cured. Though no one seemed to know, just like Mara, all and sundry means all people. Used to go around tying this creeper to the nearest plant, muttering, "Stay here." I had never seen anyone actually go back to untie it and take it home for some ailment. Ailment means disease. Ailment means disease. So everybody, whoever knows about this plant, try to tie it to a nearby tree and said that it should be there or else it will run off or escape. But Tejasvi didn't see anybody taking it, untie it and taking it home to treat any of the disease. So he couldn't find which disease it cured. Time passed, and once again I forgot about Mara's medicinal creeper. So it was not in use, that particular creeper's information, so I forgot. The other day, my erstwhile farm hand, Krishna, came to me. So erstwhile means trustworthy. Farm hand means farm worker. So, normally in a farm, so many workers will be there. Some retain the belief and trust of the owners. Krishna was one among them. For some reason, he might have been left the estate, but while working in Tejasvi's estate, he was very trustworthy. The other day, my earnest farm hand, Krishna, came to me. He was perfectly healthy the last time I had seen him, but now he was standing before me, pale and breathless. He couldn't breathe also. He was pale. What do we call that? Asthma, right? Yeah. He was perfectly healthy last time. When I saw him last time, he was perfectly healthy. And I had seen him, but now he was standing before me, pale and breathless. He had stopped working in the estate some time ago and was driving a rickshaw. Instead of working in my estate, he thought of driving a rickshaw and earning of his own independent work. Apparently, when he changed his job, he started passing blood with his stools. So, when he went to toilet, he used to pass blood with his stools. So, what do we call that? Piles, right? Now, it had become more serious and he was tired, breathless and wheezing. So, the problem of piles has aggravated as he used to drive rickshaw because it wants a driving profession wants for everybody. If a healthy person who is not habituated to drive whole day, if he drives for 2 days, then he can't get up for next 4 days. There is a problem that heat generates, and this heat results in some other problem. So now it has become more serious. He was tired, breathless and wheezing. So tired why? Because whenever he goes for toilet, whenever he goes to pass the stools, he used to pass blood along with that. So he looked tired, breathless and wheezing. Wheezing means difficult to breathe. I thought he must have piles. As far as I know, the only allopathic treatment for piles was surgery. So what happens? From anus, the tip of this big intestine, large intestine, comes out as a lump of or a mass of as a mass. So, in allopathy treatment, they cut the tip and restitch it. Meters of length is there, so the small surgery is not at all so serious. But anyhow, after surgery, they get cured. But after 1 or 2 years, again they get piles and again they have to undergo the surgery, pile surgery. The only allopathic treatment, allopathic means English medicine. Allopathic treatment for piles was surgery. I felt sorry for this man who used to work hard to earn a living. As he couldn't lead a good life by working in my farm, he wanted to earn more, so he thought of driving a rickshaw. There he got this problem, piles problem. So I felt so sorry about this man who was working very hard to earn a living. With the wife and small children at home, I wondered how could he manage the expensive surgical treatment at the hospital. Surgical treatment means it will be costly only. So it's not possible for him to bear the huge expense of the surgery, which means several days of hospitalization. If he was admitted in hospital for many days, no earning also, only expense. How it is possible for him to manage? And so, lack of work and income. So in that hospitalizing stage, no work, no income. So how can he manage this expenditure? And moreover, if he won't work, it will be a blow for his family also. They had to leave, no. They had to get their basic needs for which he had to earn. The only earning member, if hospitalized, how to manage? I thought all this and felt pity of him. He took some money from me and went to the hospital. The doctors had advised him surgery. Krishna was scared. Krishna was scared of surgery. Doctor advised him surgery when he went to the hospital. You know, some people just scared of a needle also. When doctor suggests to take injection, they shout it and run away, saying that they don't want injection. Whatever the medicine he suggests, let he give in the form of pills or tablets. They are scared of injections. Such people, how can they undergo surgery? I think one of my student who fell down and got hurt, a deep cut was there in her hand. When doctor said that it should be stitched, she shouted it like anything. They didn't stitch. They just told that it should be stitched. 3-4 stitches are needed. She shouted like anything. The whole hospital people gathered there. So such people are there. Krishna may be one among that. So if people scared of even for injection, how can they barely undergo surgery? It's not possible, no? So Krishna knew a Malayali sadhu. But anyhow, he had to get rid of this problem. Krishna knew a Malayali sadhu. This God-man had treated Krishna on an earlier occasion when Krishna had started developing boils all over his body. These boils means just like a swelling and a tip, there will be pus. After some days, it will get open and till then it will pain like anything. Even in your eyes also it happens. Got it? Yes. When he got boils all over the body, the treatment for that is blood purification. That's all. So blood purifying medicine should be given to get rid of that problem completely. So when Krishna started developing boils all over his body, this God-man had treated. God-man, why? Godly man. That's why. God-man had treated Krishna on an earlier occasion when Krishna had started developing boils all over his body. The God-man had given Krishna the bark of some tree which he was supposed to crush and mix with duck's eggs and eat. So the full course of treatment was just 10 days. But the sadhu, he did not tell which tree's bark. Why? They should not be disclosed. Okay, whatever it may be. He gave the bark of some tree which he was supposed to crush and mix with the duck's eggs and eat. The full course of treatment was 10 days. It seems Krishna had been completely cured after the treatment and never had never got a boil again. A single boil also he didn't get after that. Normally, because of the normally people go for allopathic treatment in for all their problems in emergency also, but when they are not satisfied with allopathic treatment, they go for Ayurveda, and if they are not satisfied with Ayurveda also, they go for folklore medicine, right? Yes. Krishna went to see the God-man again when he was suffering from piles and the doctor suggested this surgery. He was scared to undergo surgery, so he went to this Malayali sadhu once again. Now the God-man had become too old. Apparently, he told Krishna that he did not have the strength to search the plant, but that he would describe it. So, this Krishna had to take a plant's root. But this Malayali sadhu, he was too old and can't go to the forest to search the plant. He never had the strength to search the plant. He told Krishna that he did not have the strength to search for the plant, but that he would describe it. As he had no strength to search the plant, he decided to describe. Otherwise, he would have brought the plant, smashed it, and would have been given to Krishna. Krishna had to search for this plant, dig out the tubers, root, mix it with milk, and drink the medicine for 5 days for piles. So he described the plant, how it will be like that and all. Krishna had to go for the forest, search for the plant, dig out the tuberous roots and mix it with milk. You can't mix any tuberous root with milk. You have to smash it like this. Mix it with milk and drink the medicine for 5 days. Just 5 days treatment. The next day, I saw Krishna looking for this medicinal creeper. Yes, Krishna started to search this medicinal creeper. When I listened to his description, I asked how it will be. He described the creeper as the Malayali sadhu described. So, when I listened to his description, I was sure that he was looking for the same creeper which Mara and Appanna had tied to a nearest tree. So, as the sadhu told it, the leaves are like bitter leaves, small one, and it fruits like bunches, like that and all he explained. When Tejasvi heard his explanation, he was sure that that was the same plant which Mara and Appanna tied to a nearby tree. I took him to the plant. I knew where the plant was. Why? Because in front of him only this Appanna, Mara and all tied to the trees, no? That's why. We had to dig quite a bit to get the tuber. It was deep in the earth to get the tuber, so we had to dig quite a bit to get the tuber. Krishna ground this root and drank it with milk. Within a day, his piles improved. The pain improved. The bleeding, that improved. He was completely cured in 5 days. Krishna bid goodbye to his job as a rickshaw driver. So, an excellent medicine, what we call Ekamulika. So, he dug out the root, fibrous root, mixed it in with milk and drank it for 5 days and completely cured of his piles. Even more strange was that was happened to me. When we had dug up the root, I ate just a small piece of it, just to know how it is tasted. Anyhow, the sadhu told him to drink, so it never be poisonous. So, just to see the taste, I chewed a small piece of that root. It was slightly bitter. My right heel had been paining for quite some time. I'll continue in the next class, okay?